Namaste, Jayant, and welcome to yet another conversation around culture, heritage, and also storytellers who are bringing the past into the present so that the future remembers it, albeit in a matter of fiction. Now, his body of work, he's sold more than 8 million copies and still counting, and this latest one is a must read. For me, it's a carry on from Suhail Dev. 2020 to now 2025, the Chola Tigers, and the naam hi kafi hai na? Amish ji, good to have you with us.
Thank you, thank you,
अरे
thank you
ये
so
भी
much, Anand.
ये काफी टाइम के बाद हम कर रहे हैं. Last time we met in Mumbai.
Yeah.
That's when there was another book that had come at that time. But in terms of follow up of the series, the story of Somnath, in this you're saying the Avengers of Somnath, and you're bringing the Chola connection or the Chola Tigers connection. So how much of this is fiction and how much of it is fact?
Look, it is historical fiction, but there are a lot of historical facts in it. Was Emperor Rajendra Chola the most powerful man on earth at that time? Yes, he was. Was he a very devout Shaivite? Yes, he was. Extremely devout. There are enough examples of this. One minor example, outside a temple that he built, he put up a relief sculpture with Lord Shiva in the center and Rajaraj Chola, his father, and Rajendra Chola standing as servants to the left and right of Emperor Rajendra of Lord
Mahadev.
Shiva. Which emperor shows himself like this? He was a very devout Shaivite. Did he? Was he emotional about all of India? Yes, he changed his title to Gangaikonda when he had conquered up to the Ganga river. He changed the name of his capital to Gangaikonda Cholapuram because he brought the waters of the Ganga to his land, to the Kaveri. He didn't change his title when he conquered Southeast Asia or anything. It was the conquest up to Ganga that was an emotional moment for him. So all these are historical facts. Was he an ally of Emperor Bhojdev Parmar of Malwa? Yes, he was. This is also a historical fact. Did Mahmud Ghazni attack Somnath ji at that time? Yes, he did. And is there some controversy around Mahmud's death? Yes, there is. Some historians say he died of malaria, but malaria in Ghazni, which is 2,500 meters above sea level, cold, in April, right? And it's not even like peak summer or actually malaria to monsoon time mein hona chahiye, right? So you put all of these together, this thing seems reasonable. So I've taken facts and I filled in my imagination where there are no facts. And it is the story of Emperor Rajendra Chola ordering a vengeance on Mahmud Ghazni for what he did to the Somnathji temple.
To the Somnathji temple. The thing is, his earlier effort, Sohail Dev won the Golden Book in 2022, correct?
Yeah.
See, हम भी आपके fan हैं, हम follow करते हैं आपके काम को. But Sohail Dev was a certain rising of Bharat. There was also a certain contemporary connect to it. Around COVID, post-COVID, Atmanirbharta, all of that was happening and Bharat was rising. There was a swar coming across after the Ram Mandir judgment and all of that. What does this effort of yours do? I must be honest, I have not read the book yet. I'm looking forward to reading it. Although I can somewhere preempt what the plot will be and what is going to be, if it's going to be Amish. But from your point of view, what brought about this book?
So there'll be twists and turns in this, like in all my books. But the key things around my books, which is the unity of India, that the story of the last 1,000 years is not a story of Hindu-Muslim fights. It's a story of Indian foreigner fights. The Rayas of Vijayanagar, Chhatrapati Shivaji, all of them, when they refer to what we call the Delhi Sultans and Mughals, actually Mughals should be called Temurids, right?
Yeah.
They call them Turushka. They didn't say Muslim. They call them Turushka, which is Sanskrit for Turks. They were very clear that they were fighting foreigners. We should be as clear that these were all foreign invaders. It's not a Hindu-Muslim issue. It's an Indian foreigner issue. That's the first point. Second point, the unity of India in fighting these invaders. You don't just find that in traditions which bind temples and priests across different parts of India. I'd put up, in one of my non-fiction articles, the revival of the Kashi Vishwanath ji temple, which was done by earlier by Holkar ji.
Yeah.
Had contributions for people from Tamil Nadu, from Karnataka, from Punjab. Emperor Ranjit Singh had contributed
Yes.
money. So it shows the essential unity that was there. And I think one message and it's a line that I put in the book as well. We Indians will have our differences. We are an argumentative people. That's okay. but there's a line in UP, and I adapt that out here. Kauravs और पांडव 5, तीजा आए तो 105.
105, हाँ.
That Kauravs may be 100, the Pandavas may be 5. If an outsider comes, we're 105. Modern Indians, we must have that attitude. We're 105. Regardless of your religion, you're Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist, Parsi, it does not matter. Whatever religion you are, you practice, whatever caste, community you're from, whatever language you speak, if you're an Indian, you're one of us. You must have that attitude. And if we have that attitude, we are unbeatable.
That is against an outsider, a foreigner. Now, the Israelis have a similar one. They are bickering politically, they are baying for each other in terms of differences internally, but they present a united front to the world.
Correct.
The Americans do the same thing. Why don't Bharatiya do that? And are you trying to find out the formula as to how they can do that in this book?
I would argue that throughout history, many Bharatiyas did do that. That is why we are still alive. Look, there's a version of history that's been taught to us about the last 1,000 years. That it is a series of military defeats by foreign invaders.
Correct.
The British Raj came up with this narrative, sold it to us. They had a clear reason to do it. They wanted to divide Hindu Muslims. Because like I said often, British colonial rule is not called Christian rule, but Turkic colonial rule is called the Islamic invasion. It makes no sense unless you see the mischievous aim behind it. That's one aspect. The second aspect, they wanted to convince us that you are a defeated people. Your job is to lose to the next bunch of invaders. The British are only the latest one. That's what they wanted to convince us of. In my view, the real story of the last 1,000 years is that this is the greatest resistance movement in human history. No other indigenous group of people has fought a war of resistance for so long and so hard. Because the invaders who came here, the Turks, the Persians, the Arabs, the Mongols, the Portuguese, the Dutch, British, French, they all went to every other corner of the world as well.
Yeah.
In all other parts of the world, they wiped out all ancient cultures. There's nothing left. We are the only ones still standing. And it's not that they were charitable to us. किसी ने हमें खैरात में हमारा अस्तित्व नहीं दिया है. हमारे पूर्वजों ने लड़ के इसे बचाया है. That's the attitude we must have. Our ancestors were brave, and when push came to shove, they were united.
Correct.
Right? We must learn the lesson. Whenever we lost, it was because of internal divisions. Let's learn from the mistakes of our ancestors and learn from their strengths, that bravery and unity, and try and at least give up that divisions when it comes to foreigners. देखो अपने अंतर के arguments तो चलते रहेंगे. We Indians are like that. हमको arguments करने में मजा आता है. You put 10 Indians in a room, you'll have 11 opinions. Okay, करो arguments, but never ally with a foreigner against a fellow Indian. Never do that.
But history और our इतिहास is rife with the fact that, और ये भी तो स्टोरी है कि मंदिर के सारे किवाड़ और किलों के सारे किवाड़ जो हैं अंदर से खुलते हैं. तो ये जो काम है बैक स्टैबिंग का या किसी और के साथ घुसने का, ये हमारे इसमें है, जिसकी वजह से ये फिशर्स हमेशा बन जाते हैं. कोई ना कोई होता है जो रैंक तोड़ देता है, जो सबसे वीकेस्ट लिंक है, एंड द चेन इज ओनली एज स्ट्रांग एज द वीकेस्ट लिंक.
मेजॉरिटी ये कर रहे होते of all groups, we wouldn't have survived.
Correct.
The fact that we have survived is evidence that the majority of all groups did not do this.
चलिए इतिहास और फिक्शन पर जरा वापस आऊँगा. I'll come back in a bit, but let me ask you, the launch of this book or the unveiling of this book, okay, there are two aspects to it. One is Talaivar, Rajni sir. The other one is the Prime Minister's visit to Gangaikonda Cholapuram. So, was it a coincidence or was it planned?
मैं छोटा आदमी हूँ. I am not a part of any major plan or anything. It was a coincidence. But Thalaiva himself, launching the cover of the book, man, I couldn't have asked for.
How did that happen?
यार ये ऐसा है कि I requested him through a friend of mine, Annamalai ji. I'm sure you know him, obviously.
Yes.
And he reads my books. He likes my books. So he contacted. I asked him, can Talaiva launch my cover? So he contacted Rajnikant ji, and I was very surprised to discover that he had read my books.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So then he immediately agreed. And then my wife and I, publisher, we went to Chennai. We went to his farm. And what a man, man. I mean, the mark of, at least in the Indian way, the mark of true greatness is no matter how big you are, how polite and humble you will be. The truly great people are that way. They don't have that false arrogance. Rajnikant ji is like that, yeah. We went to his farm, we turned in from the gate. I hadn't even put on my jacket because I assumed I'll get some time to put
Yeah.
it on, and then he'd come to the door of his house, yeah. I was so embarrassed. I was rushing out back, and you're saying, relax, relax, And then we went and chatted. He chatted with us for like I thought I'll get 5 minutes with him, 45 minutes.
Wow.
And he was saying, Amish ji, I like your book. I said, sir, aap ji bol rahe hain. Mujh mein paap lag raha hai. I was saying in English, obviously.
Yeah.
I know he understands a bit of broken Hindi, of course. And he loved the cover. And he also told me something very nice. He said, I always used to feel sad that because he said in his mind, and he's right, the Cholas are Indian heroes. And he said, why did North Indians ignore them? Why did North Indians not write about this? He said the greatest book on the Cholas are Ponniyin series.
Yeah.
I've read those series of books.
Yeah.
I studied in Tamil Nadu.
Correct.
The 1980s. I don't know if you know. So
You've told me about this, yeah.
yeah, so he said the greatest books on the Cholas are all written by Tamilians. He said this is so sad, because they are Indian heroes. And he said, I'm so happy because you're a national author, but I know you're from Varanasi and a North Indian is writing about this. This is very good for us. So he was very happy. And I was on, seventh heaven. Yeah, like, what a man. And I touched his feet at the end.
Huh.
And he blessed me with success for the book.
What was, when he asked you the questions, did he also ask you, why did you write this book, or where does this come from? See, and let's come back to the book again. You choose the Tamil warrior, a Gujarati merchant, a devotee of Ayyappa. So that is again the Harihar connection, because he is the son of Shiva and Mohini. A scholar emperor from Malwa, and the most powerful man on earth, Emperor Rajendra Chola. So it's the emperor who decides to put this motley group of people. But how did this choice come?
First of all, I knew a lot about the Chodas and Tamil culture because I'd studied in South India.
Correct.
So I'd read Ponniyin Selvan in the 1990s when the first translations had come out, and I'd heard of it already when I was in school, because practically every Tamilian has, at least the well-read Tamilians have read
Ponniyin Selvan.
It's a modern classic.
Yeah.
And it's a story of Rajendra Chola's father, Rajra Chola. So they were already there in my mind as, great warriors, scholars, infrastructure builders, administrators, devout Shaivites.
Yeah, the Brihadishwara temple itself.
Exactly. And the thing that had always struck me is they lived at the same time as Mahmud Ghazni, when he did this humongous crime against all Shaivites, against our Lord. And I thought, there is no way Emperor Rajendra Chola would not have responded. He would have. And this is the story of his response.
So when did this come to you?
The story.
So when you're writing Sohail Dev, did you?
It was already there. Because I referenced this idea within Sohail Dev itself.
Yeah.
At the end of Sohail Dev, General Narasimhan,
Correct.
who had come to help King Sohail Dev,
Correct.
he tells him at the end that we got our vengeance with Mahmud as well. And King Sohail Dev tells him that, my God, this is so interesting. I want to hear this story. And then General Narasimhan says, if Lord Shiva wills it, sometime an author will write that book as well.
Right book.
The author is here.
No, I remember. So is there another connection in the epilogue in this?
There are various stories.
Are you making a prophecy
around.
in this also?
There's a prophecy I put at the end of the book, and I don't think it's a spoiler. I mean, there are twists and turns in the book, but it will not be a spoiler to tell you what the last chapter is. It's an epilogue. After the vengeance has been done and Somnath ji has to be rebuilt, Emperor Rajendra Chola's son and Emperor Bhojdev Parmar's son and General Narasimhan go to the Kanchi Shankaracharya and say that we want to reconsecrate the shattered pieces of the Shivling which they got back from Ghazni, and punah pran pratishtha karna hai. And Kanchi Shankaracharya ji says, no, this is not the right time. And India has a lot more suffering to do. And then Rajendra Chola's son says that, but we've defeated the invaders. And he says, no, we have 1,000 years of suffering to do. And then he says that there will come a time 1,000 years later, when Ram has returned to Ayodhya, and then immediately Rajendra Chola's son, or Bhojdev Parma's son, interrupts. But Ram is in Ayodhya. He's there in Ram Janmabhoomi temple. He says, no, even we'll have to suffer that too. But when he's returned to Ayodhya, then 1,000 years later, these pieces can go back and get reconsecrated there, and that's when the rise of India will begin once again.
So when
Well, the
did
1,000 years is getting over soon.
getting over? So when did
End
you,
of 25,
so
early
let
26.
me ask you, when did you pen this? When did you write that epilogue?
Around 5 months back, 6
5 months back.
5 months back. Yeah.
So at that time, did you know that the stones have reappeared?
I had heard from, but I didn't know the entire story. But I had because I've received Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar's blessings as well. So one of the prophecy items I put in there is that the Kanchi Shankaracharya ji tells the Choda and Parmar princes that the pieces of the Shilving will be kept with Agnihotri Tamil priests
Yeah.
in the Tamil lands, and when the time is right, there will be a saint called Shankar, and they will go and give it to him, and he will consecrate the Murti back.
Wow.
That'll be the time for Somnath ji to return. That'll be the time for Mother India to rise once again.
Well, interestingly, those stones exist, and those stones are with Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, and I've seen those stones, and he's shown them to me, and it was brought to him by an Agnihotri of the entire lineage of those who did puja at Somnath and who ran with the Khandit Murti to save it, and they ran all the way south of the Vindhyas into Tamil Nadu, and their generations have lived there, forgotten, and it's not passed on. This is actually the original Somnath or the moon rock, but and its magnetic core is at the center. It's
not
wide,
not in the poles.
and Shri Shri Ravi Shankar has that, and then they are going to start this entire process of visiting all the Jyotirlings after the Kartik Mass is over, after Kartik Purnima this year. And they're going to go to all the Jyotirlings, and eventually they're going to request the chairman of the Trust of Somnath to consider bringing back those 11 amshas of the original Linga back. So that's what's going to happen.
And the chairman of the trust happens to be Prime Minister
Prime
Modi ji.
Minister Narendra Modi. So they've already
Somnath ji Trust.
so the Somnath ji Trust. So that's how the whole story is going to happen. So sometimes when you write this, do you actually manifest, or these things happen? Like I said,
I'm a small person. I just write what comes to me. But this is in a way a return of Baba to Somnath ji, and it should be fuel for the ambition of all of us Indians.
Did you ask Talaivar, why haven't you made a movie if you like my work? or is that work in progress?
No,
if there is an NDA, you can tell us I'm on an NDA.
Let me just say, I'm a big fan of Talaivar ji. Just receiving his blessings is so much. But let's see.
So there is an NDA. Okay. Now, for you, who's the hero in this? Which is the character which you feel will stay with the reader? I've not read it, so I'm asking you.
All of them. Look, and primarily Emperor Rajendra Chola, because when I wrote of him, like usually I get an emotion in my mind, when I'm seeing a character.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of see the universe.
So
I record what I see. I can visualize them.
You visualize.
And I record what I see. I can hear them. I can feel their thoughts. The dominant emotion that would come in my mind when I was looking at Emperor Rajendra Chola and describing him was just awe. Like, what a man he is. And remember, by the time of the events in this book, he's already an old man. He's already nearing 60.
He is.
He's already achieved more than many emperors in history.
He's got nothing to prove to anybody.
And by that time, even you see the texts that record him, all of them, he's still so humble and almost like, Thalaiva, right? With all his achievements, still very down to earth. And when I describe how Someshwar, the Gujarati merchant, the first time, he sees, he's almost dumbstruck. He's like, his words aren't coming out because he's just staring in awe at this giant of a man.
Yeah, I'm just asking you, when you think of these characters, when this whole story comes, what's the process? is there a certain moment of divination, or is there a moment where you say, oh, it's coming to me, let me start writing, and then there's a block, and then you are not writing it for a few days, and then it comes back? Or is it structured कि नहीं यार, ये होगा, ऐसा ऐसा होगा, so ये formula है, ऐसे लगाएंगे तो फिर book बिकेगा? Do you approach it
There's
from
no
that point?
formula and there's no structure. All that comes in the marketing phase. My writing is completely instinctive. It's all. I've said this often. I know some people find it funny. I don't care. I genuinely believe it's the blessings of Lord Shiva. I don't know where it comes from. It just comes, right? And there's this parallel kind of universe that opens up, and I actually see the characters. And I can hear them, I can feel their emotions, and genuinely I record what I see. It's really like I'm a witness, not a creator. It's Lord Shiva's creativity, and I'm just witnessing it, and I'm describing what I see. That's how the process is for me.
Well, so this is unputdownable. So through the course of this week, I'm going to finish reading it, Amish, and then I'm going to put my feedback and tag you on social media for sure. But now that we've got you, I just want to quickly ask you, did you send this book to the Prime Minister?
Yes, I've sent it to him as well. One has presented it personally to various ministers, Rajnath Singh ji, Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Shekhawat ji, Dharmendra Pradhan ji, various others. I mean,
The Prime
my
Minister
good fortune.
turned 75
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
What do you make of his leadership? And we're speaking on a day, although we may put it out later, but we're speaking on a day when perhaps the biggest reforms in modern Bharat or in the recent times has come. That's GST 2.0. So you see Bharat going in the right direction?
I think we certainly are. Look, I lived for 4.5 years in the UK.
Yeah, I was about to come to that also.
yeah.
Yeah.
One can see that many countries in the West, particularly in Europe, are, I won't say they are declining, but they are slowing down. They are in decline, right?
You can feel the process of
You
decline.
can feel it. You can feel the infrastructure fraying. Like Heathrow is usually a mess. They've been trying to build a high-speed rail between London and Manchester. Now Birmingham, not even going up to Manchester. And abhi tak bana nahi hai. They've been trying to build a new runway in Heathrow because it's so overcrowded. And abhi tak, matlab 10-15 साल से हो रहा है वो debate, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. In that same time, just post-COVID, just in my city, Mumbai, I've lost count of how many metros we've built simultaneously. I think 9, 10, 11 or something. 5 of them have opened already. The rest are all going to open the next 1-2 years. A new terminal is opening by the end of this year, which is probably the largest terminal in Asia. The coastal road with a bridge under the sea, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Which has reduced a drive at peak time from Lower Parel to to where my sister lives, Marine Drive, where I live, Lower Parel, used to take 45 minutes. Now 10-15 minutes, man. We're just there. A bridge from South Mumbai all the way to the mainland, among the longest sea bridges, all this just in our city, right? There's so many other cities, so much massive infrastructure improvements. That's one part. Despite all the economic trouble that's happening, the tariff tantrums that have happened, we are still growing at over 7%, right? Real growth rates right now. The GST reforms, the port infrastructure. There are so many things that are all happening simultaneously. Indigenization in our military. Look, no country can become a serious superpower till they can build their own weapons. And we have started doing that too. So many things all happening together, all in a time when the post-World War geopolitical order is breaking down.
Correct.
So there's a time of great threat. It's also, as the Chinese say, a time of great opportunity. Threat accompanies opportunity. If we play our cards right at this time, we didn't play our cards right post the Second World War. Actually, we didn't even have cards because we were ruled by the British at that time, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, they threw us under the bus. Now, if we play our cards right, we will benefit for decades on this. And which is where I'm delighted that we have a Prime Minister who's clear-headed, who's from the realism school of geopolitics, the Chanakyan school, doing what is in the interests of the country, not getting lost in moral grandstanding, like some leaders of other countries are doing. Right? He has to do what is in the interests of India in a very Chanakyan way, which is what I think he's doing.
So you're back to only writing books, or are you doing something else also?
No, the diplomatic role is over. And I served an extension as well. I think I was among the longest serving directors of the Nehru Center, some 4.5 years. They must have been happy with the work that I did. But now I'm back. I have my books, I have my video games. I'm coming out with a video game, Age of Bharat.
Yeah.
There's a movie coming out early next year on Lord Krishna called Radha Ramanam. I'm
Oh,
the
lovely.
creative director.
Oh, lovely.
There are various documentaries coming out.
your
I host and
podcast.
produce
Yeah.
podcasts. So I'm doing tons of stuff.
So what's next? What's the next book?
Um,
Are you already writing it, or are you taking a
yeah.
break?
So I'm already writing one fiction book which is in the Indic Chronicles space. One book that is actually a crime fiction set in the UK. I just want to do something different, man. But with Indian, with an Indian connection. The video game it'll be the first AAA video game on any Indian subject ever.
Age of Bharat.
Age of Bharat. Amitabh Bachchan ji, Noordin Abood and I, we've co-founded this company called Tara Gaming. So it'll be an Assassin's Creed level game, right?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And no Indian game has ever been, no game on an Indian subject has ever been made.
So when are you launching this?
Early 27. I'm working on various projects.
So, and when is Radha Ramanam happening?
Early 26 by Feb March. Shooting ho gaya hai. We're in post-production.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little more about the movie now?
Let's wait for a proper
Conversation,
announcement on this.
announcement and
There will be a trailer launch. All that will come. But just to know this film is coming.
So,
It's on Lord Krishna.
so Age of Bharat and Radha Ramanam, that's next with Amish.
Yeah.
Until then, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Thank you.